Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This week we're going to be hitting up Star Wars Shatterpoint. And Ahsoka comes with the starter set. The current version of Ahsoka, the Rebels Ahsoka. So, actually she's right here. Right here. I also picked up the Ahsoka snips from the Clone Wars. We'll probably do her next week or so. Maybe I'll do her off camera as well. Not sure. But anyway, we're going to focus on the current Ahsoka, and there is a lot of blue involved. So I've seen a handful of these gentlemen out there doing Ahsoka with contrast paints and regular paints, but we're going to use Pro Acryl. I haven't decided if I'm going to airbrush or use just a brush. I think the airbrush, because no one else is really doing that on Ahsoka. Maybe we can do a little spot spray to make some stuff stand out and just show how easy the airbrush is a little bit, and just to be a little different, right? I mean, if you've seen one, you've seen a couple of them, and the guys that they did their paint jobs were terrific. But let's see what we can do with the airbrush. I think, don't quote me on that, but we'll think. I might end up doing with the brush. We'll see. My time frame is getting short, and the airbrush is a little more meticulous, but it's not so much. I digress. Anyway, guys, please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. All right, let's go get her knocked out. We sprayed the dark blue just about everywhere, pretty much, and I'll end up going back with a brush to do the skin and stuff like that. But let's just get the blue down. This is a real quick, simple way. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to introduce this blue into the dark mix, or the dark mix that's in the air gun now. I'll mix this in, and I'll do a couple little spot sprays here and there. All right, let's do it. I got the second sprig of blue on there. I just mixed the dark blue with regular blue, and now I'm going to go with, I think it's sky blue. I've got it in there in a mixture already, and we're going to do that on some of the little areas and make it pop. All right, let's do it. So far we have sprayed 3 blues, a mixture of 3 blues, and we're going to do one more little quick. This is a gray blue, and I'm going to do a couple little spot sprays here and there before I get on with the brush and start getting that skin. So, and we're probably going to do these, the armor, the shin armor metallic. I like the way it's turning out. You know, it's not exactly like the art, not yet anyway. We're pretty close. This is pretty good. I don't have any of the trim on there yet. So let's introduce this gray blue on some of the areas and go from there. All right, let's do it.
done with the airbrush now. We did the 3 blues. I started with a dark blue and mixed the dark blue with the blue, and then I mixed a blue with the light blue, the sky blue, all pro acryl, and it turned out nice. I mean, we don't have a wash on her yet, and we don't have any etching done or edging. I'm getting ready to do the metallic. I'm going to do her shin guards, her knees, and it looks like maybe even her sabers. We'll see, but she's got some armor here as well, and then the trim, and then the back as well. So let's go ahead and do that. For the trim on her skirt here, I'm going to use this this gray blue to do just some of the trim. You can see the trim in there, and then she's got a little bit on her shirt right up here. So I'm going to have to be real careful and use the edge, and I need to get some up top there, her sleeves. She's got a couple sleeves on her shoulders there that need to be white. So we've got to be real careful here with this this gray blue on these, because we're trying to stay away from that airbrush work we did, which is a tough part. I had a couple issues with the metallic, but you know, nothing that we can't fix or we can't live with, because I think I still haven't done a wash, and once I get a wash in there, kind of clean some of those lines up, and they're not too bad. They're not bad at all. I'm actually really impressed this time around with my work on etching. So anyway, looking pretty good. So let's get the trim for her skirt on there. We did the etching on her outfit, on her tunic, right? We did all the outline. I had to do it off camera. It was a bit meticulous to do that, and it's a bit rough if you get in real close. The front I was pretty careful, but back I had some issues, but not too many, not too bad. But anyway, I'll do a quick dark blue wash, and it'll clean all of that up. She's looking really tight right now. I'm really happy. We got the hard part coming up, which is actually the head. But first we're going to do the skin. We're going to do the arms, the fingers, and then the face, and then that I forget what that's called. Can't remember, but I'll figure that out. But we've got to paint that, and that's blue and white, and that's going to be probably the hardest part of the model. So let's get the skin done and get it highlighted. We're using, for the skin, we are using a Pro Acryl Dark Warm Flesh. I believe that's a Signature Series. Yep, that's a Ninja Signature Series color. And I think we're going to do the base actually with Secret Weapon Yellow Rust, and then we'll highlight it with the Warm Flesh. I think it's going to be one of these combos, or I may go solid and go straight with Dark Warm Flesh. I'm not sure. I always leave these things up in the air because I paint a lot of this stuff as I go, and I have them picked out, and then I'm just not quite sure when I look at them again. But anyway, I will get one of these two as the base, and the other one will be the highlight. Probably base, highlight. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's get it done. I got a bit carried away. I got some regular blue, and I touched up on the shoes. I touched up on the heels. I did the straps, right? I did the straps just straight blue up here as well. Did the straps, and then I came back with a mixture of light blue, and I did a little dot on each one of those to give them a just little 3D highlight. Real simple, makes it pop real quick. All right, so now let's move on to the skin.
Yeah, like and subscribe really helps support the channel.
base of the skin down. And now what I did for the base on the skin is I did a mixture of Ninjon's Pro Acryl Dark Warm Flesh and Secret Weapons Rust Jello. I did a mixture, a nice orange color here. I'll show you on the palette. Right there. Right there. I took this orange and this flesh tone and came up with this. And now I'm going to highlight with just flesh. Let's do that now. I'm going to start on the headdress here, or I got to figure out what that name is or what that is. Maybe someone will leave it in the comments. But I'm going to start that the very tip is blue, and then there is a white section, and then there's another blue here. So blue there, blue there, and say blue here too. So, alright, I think that's a pretty good map for now. Let's see, blue is here on this one, blue is on this one, and then there, and then I will go back and finish that. So just kind of giving myself a map here. This paint dries real quick on these little brushes. I'm using a Kolinsky Sable rounds from Germany. This is, you know, and this is a tiny little guy. So this is blue. I knocked the head out. I did ivory and blue, and I just took my time and I went around and did them real careful. It's a little rough still, but I'm gonna go over it with some bright ivory and then some white to bring it out, and I'll do that with maybe some other areas. But it looks like this is turning out really nice. I'm really happy with this, and once I get them washed, some of those crevices will fill in, and then once I get some white, actual bright ivory and stuff to highlight these, and also highlight the blue to make that head pop, you know, she's gonna look really terrific. And then we'll get the sabers, and we're just about there. And then we got to do a general wash, real light watered down wash on the skin and some of the clothes, just to fill in some of the gaps, and she's about there. All right. Pretty much done. We got a lot of it done. We got a lot of that trim. That trim was a lot of work. There's a lot of fine work on Ahsoka, especially with this head. You've got to get those lines. Even with the grooves in it, it's really tough. And there might be a little simpler way, but we got this to really pop, right? It's not the greatest. It's a little rough in there, but we haven't put the general basic wash, real thinned out wash on anything yet. So that should really make it pop and bring a lot of this together. And then the last thing we're going to do, the last thing we're going to do is the base, but we're going to let those sabers dry, and then we'll do a blue wash of something. I have some wash. Where is it? I showed it in the intro. Anyway, I'll pull it out later. But we're going to use that over the sabers, a quick wash just to give them a little tiny blue tint. And then she's just about there. I got to do a wash on the face and stuff like that. But we're about there, guys. She's looking pretty good. I'm really happy with this. That head had me. Well, I was really worried about doing it, and I could probably go back and do better and do some touch-ups, as always, right? But anyway, so let's get the base. Let's get that. Actually, first let's get that general wash. Real watered down wash. I'm gonna do a blue wash, and I'm gonna do a watered down flesh tone from Army Painter on the skin, and that should really make it pop. And then maybe we'll go back and highlight a couple things, but that's about it. All right, let's do it. So for the skin wash, we're gonna use Pro Acryl Flesh Wash. It's not my general wash. I usually use Army Painter Flesh Wash. I mean, this is usually, everyone, this is the top of the game for washes. It works really well. Tried and true. So, but this is the newer one that Pro Acryl has for Flesh Wash. I've used it on a couple things, but yeah, I was scared. But this is more of a red, so let's see how it turns out on Ahsoka here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to thin it down a lot, right? I mean, I already threw a little dot right there, and I'm going to thin that down pretty good. So let's do it. We're going to use this for the shade. I watered this down, like 3 to 1, or I'm really watered down. And this is, I'm just going to do kind of a general wash on Ahsoka everywhere here. Just kind of everywhere. It's going to should fill in some of these gaps. Yeah. Real nice and light. Done with the skin, and we're done with the shading. Everything looks pretty good. I did a little bit of highlighting on the face with the white for Ahsoka. I put a little bit of white in the eyes. It's hard to tell. It's a little bit rough. But you know what? It looks really good for what it is. I'm really happy with it. It's a little rough, but you know what? It'll just do. Now, what we need to do, is do the rest of the saber blades, and we will finish that off with a little bit of this green, which is actually kind of a blue on the saber. Just a real watered down, give them this little sheen, and I think we're good to go. And then we will base it, and then we're good. All right, let's do it. There we go. Sabers down. I did that light green wash on the tips. I kind of went back and forth with the white and the wash a little bit to come up with the green, a bluer tip and a whiter closer to the hilt. Now I'm going to touch those hilts up just a little bit with a couple little things, but she's pretty much done. She's done. I'm going to do a matte varnish over the top. I've got to do a base. I'm going to do silver. And I believe I will do just a little bit. I will put a little glue and I'll put a little gravel here, just because. All right. So let's get the matte varnish on. Let's let those blades dry. We'll get that matte varnish on there. No, actually, I take that back. We're gonna do the silver and and then we'll do the matte varnish. All right, let's do it. Ahsoka Tano, Star Wars Shatterpoint. Man, I've been thinking about painting this one for a while. I've been worried. My biggest concern was about the head and getting it done correctly. And she turned out really, really good. I'm really happy with this. The sabers, I did a little different work on the sabers, and they turned out really terrific as well. It's a little rough on the head, a little rough in the areas, but not bad. Really excited about the airbrush work and the way it turned out. The 3 colors that I airbrushed on the all of the blue, the skirt and the legs and the tunic, it turned out great. Loving it. And then the etching, had to take our time with the etching. That took a little bit. Those are really, really fine lines, but she turned out really, really terrific. This one wasn't as simple as my usual, but you know what? Take your time, and she'll turn out really good.
Well, there you have it, guys. Ahsoka from Shatterpoint, Star Wars Shatterpoint tabletop game. I was really, really concerned about painting this one, and I did a lot of thinking on this one, how it was going to turn out. The head is a very important piece on Ahsoka, and I saved it for last in the video, and I hand painted it. You know, she turned out terrific. It's a little rough here and there, but she's really great. I'm happy with it. And what I did with the blues is I airbrushed 3 different blues on the skirt and the pants and the tunic. Everyone else has already done Ahsoka with speed paints, and hand paints. So I thought I'd just do the airbrush side and then do highlighting with the brush. She turned out really terrific. I'm really happy with her. Guys, please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. Please share. You know, share it. Share the videos. I would love to. I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000. We just passed 560. Thanks everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's truly appreciated. And you know, let's keep climbing. I want to get there. So let's do it. Anyway, guys, again, please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. I'll catch you next week.